くぞ。
Hello everyone, what's happening? This is Forgo, and today we're going to focus on Guild Raid, and I'm going to try to do a more detailed explanation of what you need to do in Guild Raid so you can achieve the highest points possible. This is very important because the guild is actually working together to try to get to do enough damage to Rugal between all of the guild mates so you can achieve some Guild Raid boxes. It's going to have imprint stones, unpairing kits, whatever, what have you, depending on the level of the Guild Raid that you're facing. But before I get into that, I do want to, I didn't mean to click on that, I do want to quickly explain a couple things about this mode right here. I was able to hit 223 million, and the reason I did this is because I made a mistake in the last video. So first of all, I just want to apologize for that because I actually gave out some misinformation. You actually want shield damage on both of your teams. You want shield damage on both of your teams because the immortal pain in the butt here will actually kind of sit there and be stun locked a little bit. So actually your characters that are fragile, they can survive. Plus, you're going to be decreasing his defenses, so you're going to be doing that much more damage. You know, I thought originally that it was just, I thought originally that it was your first team, but it isn't. It's actually both teams you want shield damage for. So this is the teams that I ran with to get that 223 million, and I actually leveled up Halloween Kula because she is absolutely amazing for this. One, she's a purple type, so she has a type advantage. And she has this sweet, nice little core effect to freeze. And you can also use the 3 PG card for her. So you can, the best thing that I found to do, at least for me, is I had Halloween Kula on the first team because she's actually going to get the PG rate from Chris. And then I put Ignis in the team for some good damage. And Ignis here, you know, I did have a Kula, a Zhang Fei card on him. And for Chris here, I had a Zhang Fei card on him as well. So shield damage between these two guys. We got some freeze right here. All have the type advantage. All getting that extra PG rate. And then for the second team, I used Pretty Zero, who actually, her, you know, leadership does apply to Lovely Kula, which also has the freeze, then chill, blah, 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 and then Nameless. For Nameless, I actually used the Terry card. I used a cooldown card and a this Terry card for him because it actually increases basic tech power charge rate by 3.2%. If y'all want to see me do a run with the teams, just let me know in the comments. You know, I just made a video about it. I really didn't want to do that again. So let's talk about Guild Raid. And by the way, adding Halloween Kula gained me 20 million points. Switching her for Baseball Vanessa gave me an extra 20 million points, guys. Plus putting the Zhang Fei cards on Pretty Zero. Just one Zhang Fei card on Pretty Zero. And I also was running the Leah set on Kula with the option card. And that Leah set really proved to be very useful. So we'll talk about the Guild Raid. Now, I really have been trying to improve my score in Guild Raid quite a bit because I want to be able to help my teammates get those damn Guild Raid boxes. And you can see that right here I scored 171 million on hard. We're not doing expert yet because my guild just isn't ready. You know, my teammates just don't have strong enough characters to do it yet, and that's completely fine. You get good rewards in hard. I'm actually happy with it. It's completely cool. But one of these days we will be doing expert. I mean, I even have trouble. I can do a pretty good amount of damage in expert. Actually, currently I could probably do enough to where I could definitely help out the team, but I can't really carry anybody, and I'm just trying to build my characters to where maybe in the future I can. But shout out to all my guildmates for joining and for playing in this game mode, for helping out, so we can acquire all of these rewards. And there's lots of teams you can use. I'm not going to go into all that. I've already talked about the teams that you can use. For me, for my teams, this is really the best team. You know, Burn is definitely Rugal's weakness. And we got 3 Burn strikers. These are excellent strikers because every one of them, well, K just has increased damage equal to 310 attack to an enemy. But Keo here is absolutely amazing because he actually applies Infernal Flame to the target 6 seconds to all enemies, deals burn damage equal to 30% of attack. And the same with Swimsuit K. Inflicts burn damage equal to 35% of attack. So when you use them as strikers, these two as strikers, they're really going to be buffing up that burn or giving burn to someone like Ginnets. And just recently today, I went ahead and leveled up Rock a little bit more. I put another Imprint Stone on him. Now, an Imprint Stone in this location really isn't, for the Rock, you could argue it wasn't the brightest idea because you have to use unpaired kits to unequip these stones. And those things are rare. They're very hard to come by. And really, when you level up a stone and you put it on a character, you want that stone to stay. You don't really want to take it off. For me and for my account, it wasn't a bad idea because in Immortal Victor, you can just use Rio cards and you can still acquire enough PG rate that you can do it. However, if you're one of those people that use the Rock in other game modes, which very well could be, it won't matter against Spider Robot. PG rate doesn't matter against Spider Robot. But against some of the Immortal Dungeons, if you're using the Rock, you might want to reconsider putting one of these Imprint Stones here. You really would rather put a PG rate stone, and I'll show you what that looks like. You'd really rather put a PG rate stone like this one here on him. That's why I got a PG rate stone on Nameless, because I use Nameless religiously in Immortal Dungeons, and having that extra PG rate is very important. That 8% PG rate is very, very important. But the Rock, because I mainly use him here and just for Immortal Victor, I went ahead and done this because this stone's absolutely insane because it's going to give him the extra bleed for 25% for 10 seconds upon using Awakened Skill. And it's going to give increased attack type fire by 12%. And that's the big one. These gold imprint stones are absolutely massive. And I have two of them completely maxed out. So I'm getting an extra 24% attack between these two. Now this stone here, I'm actually probably going to unequip it and slap on another attack with bleed and attack type character. Currently, I don't think I have one. Yeah, this is for balance. This is for defense. Okay, so this is for attack. So I could put this stone here and actually gain quite a bit of attack, which is what I might do. I might go ahead and take this stone off because it is giving some extra attack and we get some recovery, but I don't think Rock really needs it, to be perfectly honest. And when you're playing Imprint Stone weak and Rock is a PvP, he's very strong in PvP. It might be a good way to go, just have tons and tons of attack. But Imprint Stones and Championship is pretty rare. It doesn't happen a lot, although in the future that could change. As far as the builds, I don't know why I clicked out of there. There's the Imprint Stones. I'm running the Akane set. This is the best PvE set in the game, pretty much. You can make an argument for Leah, but in this game mode, in Guild Raid, the Akane is number 1. And then we have his PG card, completely leveled up, max 10. And for Nameless here, I got a Kea set. And I do have this card on him. This card, actually, I've done some testing. And yeah, you get the critical damage. And you get the extra burn and the crit rate. And that's nice. But I don't know. In Guild Raid, maybe in an Immortal dungeon that you fight, maybe be different. But against Guild Raid, I think having just max cooldowns really better. Although the run you're going to see, I was using this card. There really didn't seem like a whole lot of difference in the amount of damage I was doing as far as breaking down that burn meter. It didn't seem like I was breaking it down any faster when I used this card or when I didn't use this card. So I don't think this card is really an absolute must by any means for this particular game mode. And then, of course, with Imprint Stones, I got this first one here, which is nice. But again, I might replace this and just put a nice burn. Find a purple one here. These are all bleed, but you want a purple gold one with burn here, or a silver gold one, or silver one with burn. It doesn't look like I have any of them. So here's purple with bleed, purple with bleed. Here's a purple with, purple with burn, but it's a diamond. But this one here, it wouldn't work for Nameless because he's a defensive type, but it'll work for a balanced type fighter. This is really the kind of stone you'd really want right here and here for him. But I still think the PG rate in the middle for Nameless is a great way to go because of his long ultimate skill. Now for Ginnets here, I got him set up pretty good. He already has 30% PG rate in his core, so he's going to be really great in the Immortal Dungeons already because of the 30% PG rate. But these stones are insane for him because you're getting the extra bleed, you're getting the extra attack, and the same here. It's just like the Rock. I'm getting an extra 24% extra attack, and I'm getting all this extra bleed for him. This center one, I'm just going to end up equipping another bleed here, probably, but I don't have any for an attack type fighter. They're all defense or balance, and I need one for an attack TIE fighter, so that way we can buff up Guinness. And that's what I'd go with Guinness. I just have 3 of these stones that are all with bleed and the extra attack, these gold ones. Now obviously, if you don't have the gold, you're not, doing high enough levels of immortal dungeons and what have you, then you just want to use the silver ones that have extra attack and bleed for Guinness. So let's jump into the action and let's rock and roll. So I do the exact same pattern every time I do guild raid. I'll start off with the rock. I'll hit his first skill, second and third. I'll bring in K. And then I'll bring in Nameless, run through all of his skills, and bring in the Striker. Now we'll bring in Guinness, use the Striker, and then use the 1-2, break the meter, and start attacking. I'll run through until I get my ultimate skill ready. I'll go ahead and use it. And I do use the 5PG because it's a nice long animation, and your awakening skills are still running while you're doing these long animations. Very important. Now I'm going to switch to the rock, and I'm going to deal through his skills. I'm going to switch to Nameless, and we're going to try to get some burn applied. And every time you'll see me, I just use Nameless as applying burn. That's all I use him for. I just use him to apply the burn. And before I switch to Guinness, I just do 1 rotation with Nameless, use his 3PG, then I switch to Guinness, bring in Swimsuit K, and I start using my Awaken skill, break the meter, and I start doing tons of damage. And you'll notice, after I use Guinness here, and Rugal's going to, have that burn meter up again, I'm going to use Nameless, but I'm going to use Nameless as Awaken skill, but we just want to apply the burn. I'm not going to use Nameless continuously because the Rock and Guinness actually do more damage than him. So here we go, right? And I just switch, and we go, and I use his Awaken skill, and I didn't switch, but I used his Awaken skill, broke the meter, switched to Rock. Now I'm just going to use the 3PG, boom. We haven't used the Awaken skill from Rock yet. So you always keep in mind that we're going to use that the next round. And then right after this, I'm going to use Nameless again. I'm going to use 3 skills. I'm going to bring in a Striker if it's available. And then I'm going to use his 3PG. Here we go. So his Striker isn't ready. We use the 3 skills. We apply the 3PG. Here we go. And then I'm going to switch to Guinness and bring in Swimsuit K. Okay, bring in Swimsuit K. We're going to break the meter. We're going to switch to the Rock. We're going to break the meter, and then we're going to use the Awaken skill. Here we go. And this is kind of what you're trying to do, For this team up, you're really just using Nameless to just try to break the meter along with the Strikers that are on your team, that are with your damage dealers. And another little tidbit, before your meter completely runs out, like right at the end of it, do your 3PG or 5PG, whatever. And you'll notice that Rugal doesn't do this stun near as often. Consistently, that's what happens for me. So again, I just used 3 skills. Didn't use my Awaken skill for Nameless. We use my 3PG. And then I'm going to switch to Guinness, bring in Swimsuit K. Here we go. Use Swimsuit K. Use my Awaken skill. Keep breaking that meter. And boom. And the burn from Swimsuit K lasts for 6 seconds. So you got 6 seconds where you can just keep doing tons of damage and break that meter. And this is the best run that I've ever had. And again, when your meter gets down to the very bottom, don't wait till it finishes. When it gets near the bottom, then go ahead and use your 3PG or 5PG. Here we go. There we go. Now I'm going to use my Awaken skill. Notice whenever I switch to the Rock, because the Rock doesn't have a Striker that actually deals burn based off the damage that he's doing, I use Nameless and use his Awaken skill to build up that burn to deplete that meter. You see what I'm doing? There is a complete pattern to what I'm doing. And this, to me, was a much better run than what I originally did in my original video of this game mode. Now I'm going to switch to Nameless. We're going to run through 3 skills. We're going to use the 3PG. And then we're going to switch to Guinness, bring in Swimsuit K, and start plowing it on. So before I switch to Guinness, I just do 3 skills and a 3PG. Before I switch to Rock, I use Nameless's Awaken skill and deplete the burn meter as fast as I can, then switch to the Rock. And here we go. Look at this, man. Destroying. We're going to use our 5PG. Now I'm going to try to apply a little damage with Nameless afterwards. Really, I should have just hit Guinness. Might have been able to do a little bit better. I honestly think I could probably hit around 180 million, maybe. But this was more than a good enough score. Very happy with it. So hopefully this will help some of you out there. Maybe you can apply some of these methods with some other characters when you're using certain strikers to deal the most damage. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.